sides north, south, east and west of Belfast. Quite a lot of places to visit once you're here in Belfast. When you look over to the right hand side, you have the Belfast City Hall. Commissioned by Queen Victoria, after she granted Belfast the city charter back in 1888. Queen Victoria's statue founded our president from Belfast was founded back in 1604 as a crown land, so it's still very, very young. As a city, it's younger. Throughout the grounds of City Hall, statues and monuments for people throughout our history from what they achieved or advanced through their lives. And you can walk freely inside, and you might be able to come across a walking tour, a free tour inside, depending on the size of the group, depending on what time they start the tour. With the Victoria Shopping Centre here to your left, the largest of the 5 shopping centres here in the city, to the very top, you have a glass dome. You can take a free elevator from the ground floor to the very top. There you can get a 360-degree view of overlooking the city of Belfast. Anchor Channel here to your left, Razors, we did have Top Shop, Top Man, they all moved out. We did have the residents, that were lit on the pens. No, I didn't see it, but the residents, they're not going back in because it's not keeping up to the proper standards. You can park 1,000 vehicles underneath. Once we come around to the left, once you come to the edge of something, pick up to the top left and there you have the glass dome. You've also got a small yellow bandstand. Yellow bandstand over to the left, dedicated to the first Jewish Lord Mayor of Belfast, Uncle Jaffa. So there we look up to the left, there you have the glass dome. Say take a free elevator up inside. Coming in the view up ahead of us on the right hand side, you have a small clock tower. The Prince Albert Memorial Clock Tower, designed by Frank Matcham. It was commissioned by Queen Victoria for her beloved consort, Prince Albert, who stands 1 further away up the top of the clock tower. But look to the clock tower, it leans off its perpendicular. It's nicknamed the Leaning Tower of Belfast. We've known the Leaning Tower in Pisa. We have one here in Belfast too. But it was formerly known as the Red Light District. So some of the men folk, they blamed the ladies of a night, leaning against the clock tower when it was falling back. I wouldn't know, I wasn't allowed anywhere near it. To the right hand side you have a custom house, a lovely custom house square designed by Sir Charles Lanyon back in 1848. Still used as customs and access for His Majesty's government. And you look from the sky, looking down to the top, constructed in the shape of a letter U. Over here to the left you have the blue ceramic fish, the salmon of knowledge. Each skill on the fish tells you a different story of the history of Belfast and the surrounding Lagan Bank area. Now it's also very, very lucky to go down and get yourself a photograph. Kissing the fish. Whenever you leave Belfast, you take our knowledge back home with you. It can be much, but I can also say, folks, that I've been down there for many a night, and I will agree it's very great kissing. I wouldn't even kiss the back. You have the Belfast County Control Barrier and the Lagan Weir to the left. There to control the flow and the height of the River Lagan. Belfast logs the tidal flowing north, so once the tide went out, the river dropped. This area was very, very smelly and polluted, and the only thing you would have caught here inside the Queen's Island. This is the former shipyard of Belfast, under the duration of workmen's and clerks before Coleraine was moved. All the mud and silt crates come off to your left. There you have the Victoria Channel, the Pollock Docks, the Alexander Basin. Then of course with the new millennium, European cities received their grants for their new projects. And here in Belfast, celebrating its 25th year, you have the Odyssey Pavilion, the SS Arena. Inside the pavilion you have the IMAX Cinema, Sleeper, Pool, Bowling Alleys, the W5 Sands Park, which stands for who, what, where, when, why. And then of course you had the test down to see the country sports factory, SS here really. Up to the Belfast Giants, ice hockey area, right with the ice hockey. Ice hockey gave the Belfast to transcend sectarianism between the two communities, but both Catholics and Protestants would support as equal. Imagine you think of the hockey match, ice hockey match, they beat the living daylights out of each other, the hockey sticks, slamming off against the glass. So you get the children, go ahead, knock it down, knock it bottom, have a corner. And you're trying to end sectarianism. Trying to get all the different pop arts and form the Belfast building park, Bob Jones, Boy Road, West Side, Rihanna, Lady Gaga, Justin Bieber. And recently had the Lady of Pop, hardly even know. She performed in Belfast for 3 nights. 65% of the audience were guys. You wonder why? How would I know? I was one of the 65%. What a great day it was. My head was spinning for 2 weeks. Coming into the Queen's Road, this is the former entranceway to the former world's largest shipbuilding company, part of the Group. The Redwood Ireland from Scarborough, England, and Newtownards from Onboard, Germany. Over 41 ships were constructed for the White Star Line. The most famous was, of course, Titanic. Now, anybody who's going to the Titanic Centre, just remain seated until they travel up the Queen's Road, and then come back down again, and then you're able to hop off safely on the opposite side of the road. Also down here to the left, you get the steamship Newtownards, painted in the same livery as Titanic, the last remaining vessel representing the White Star Line. Rescued from the River Seine in Paris, starting at Rusty to one of the floating restaurant, brought back to Belfast, restored, and now open to the public for tours. There to the left you have the iconic building, Titanic Belfast, the 400s constructed in the shape of a ship. The exact height, design and replica to the front of Titanic bow. When she was constructed, 250 feet in height from the keel to the tip of the funnels. Just short of 900 feet long, 85 foot wide, and she weighed over 46,000 tons. She became the heaviest movable object in the world at that time. Once she was constructed, you will be able to see the slipways over to your left. Slipways number 2 and 3. Number 3 closest to us, where Titanic was constructed. The slipway number 2 just further past her sister ship Olympic. Once Titanic was completed, she was then towed up into her dry dock for her final fittings and fixtures before the steel box towards Southampton. Titanic Studios here to your left, the former paint sheds in Hardwood. Television and film production has become massive here throughout the north of Ireland. The Wall, the Blue Line, and of course the most recent, the Game of Thrones. All indoor filming was completed inside, throughout the North Atlantic coast, County Down, and obviously outdoor filming. And over to the left, the safe grey battleship, HMS Coleraine, the last remaining vessel from the First World War Battle of Jutland. Today she's at the Walk-On Museum. Then of course for the Innovation Centre, the Science Centre, constructed as if looking like a ship. The bow to the front, stern to the rear, and then a conning tower just over to your left. The White Star House here to your left makes reference to the White Star Line. And then you look further down to your left, there you have Titanic's former pump house on her dry dock. The pump house was able to empty that dry dock with 5 million gallons of water in less than 1 hour 30 minutes. A massive achievement for engineering. And I'm sure quite a lot of you have received parcels at your front door from Amazon. Here in Belfast, you have the largest Amazon depot. You have over 300 vehicles, bringing quite a lot of employment here into Belfast. get a lot of revenue. And then Saudi would go shipbuilding in Belfast. Ship repair, ship refitting, and ship painting. When you're looking directly ahead of you, this would be the dock. The dock used for ship repair and ship painting and refitting. Now during the heyday of shipbuilding here, the Carnival, you had over 35,000 employees. Quite a lot of these men, some women, they came from East Belfast, down to Clonswater, Clonsburg, the Lower Newtownards Road, also from the outskirts of Belfast, north, south and west. The two cranes standing on the last, see over to your left hand side, standing over 300 feet in height. Farming electricity, they were along little railway lines just like a train, and their maximum speed, believe it or not, 5 miles per hour. Now you had a group of 7 men, 7 engineers, electricians. They operated the cranes through the day and night. The thick leg, further over to the left hand side, there's only one small elevator. Only 2 people could fit inside at the one time. So instead of the engineers having to travel up from there all through the day, they were being inside the crane on the containers you see to the very top for 1 week. They worked 1 week on, 1 week off. Today they still stand out over the world's largest shipbuilding dry dock, the Thompson Greely Dock, just short of 1 kilometre in length. Now 6 cruise ships would fit inside that dry dock at the same time. 85 foot deep, 125 foot wide. So I mentioned to you, just short of 1 kilometre in length. Now they weren't going to be decommissioned. They could all shipbuilding to prepare to be finished. They still operate at times throughout the year. If somebody come up with a bright idea, put them into a tourist attraction, they are ever switched off. Somebody come up with an idea, bungee jumping. Jumping 300 feet off the top, 85 foot down into the dry dock and back up again. No thanks. Even if there was water 85 foot deep in the dry dock, it still wouldn't do. Then they tried to come up with an idea of a glass restaurant to the very top. They couldn't not get any insurance liability. Nobody would cover them. And you'd also wonder why coming out of the door, coming out to have a smoke outside, take their own turn. So just down here to the left hand side is your stop. Here for Translink Centre Belfast. If you have a few passengers to pick up, so if you are happy off, just mind yourselves coming down the stairs, and this is your hop back on stop again. For every 15-20 minutes, folks. There you are, come on ahead. Titanic tour ticket, your city tour ticket, or city sightseeing ticket, they'll give you £10 off your bill towards a boiled egg or a glass of orange juice. Here onto the Queen's Bridge, just front left there you have a beautiful piece of artwork. Helios, the goddess of light, or Thanksgiving beacon at the end of Thanksgiving Square. Standing on top of the globe and holding aloft the unbroken ring of peace. At night time, she will light up with blue lights, also the other sides of the 2 bridges and the other pieces of artwork that surround the city. The blue lights representing peace. It was a pensioner from Belfast, and of course it was erected. With Oxford Street here, we're travelling upon, this was home to the judicial system. This area was devastated by bomb blasts. These glass buildings that you do see all around, they wouldn't have stood a chance given the bombs were going off. The new Lancashire High Court here to your right since 2008. The Belfast Waterfront Conference Hall over here to your left. Here to the right, the Royal Court of Justice since 1932. Beautiful white Portland stone building. Just like our Parliament buildings in Stormont. But this wall that surrounds the perimeter, it's not part of the original design. It's a blast wall, a bomb-proof wall, up to 5 foot thick. Once we turn around to the right, you'll see the metal's 1997, but you still have this perimeter. St George's Market here to your left, the oldest covered indoor market in Ireland since 1898. Sadly though, market days are only Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so you'll have to be here for the rest of the week. But you've also got Ronnie Drew's pub, the bar and lounge, named after famous singer from the Dubliners, famous Irish folk group. So we get the Irish folk music played inside the bar. Take us up and towards the city centre. We bypass towards Great Victoria Street. These streets were named after Queen Victoria when she came to Belfast 1848. Down behind us towards the markets area, the area was known as Cow's Lane. So could you picture a queen, the monarch, coming to Ireland? While we're travelling along Cow's Lane, I will not be amused. Maybe she was German, she was speaking Dutch at the time, so it had to be named Victoria. When she returned back again, 25 years later, the Grand Belfast City Charter, you had to have Great Victoria Street. Mind you, when she came on her second visit, she was only in for 25 minutes. She got off the boat at the docks, serving it around the town. There's your charter. I'm away back home. The City Hall here to your right, Titanic Memorial Garden, back behind us on Donegal Square East. Commissioned by Queen Victoria to give Belfast a city charter, and then the City Hall was completed back in 1906, but it almost bankrupt the city. But of course not on the bell. You do get the students parking their vehicles left and right. If you do hear the bangs, it's only the mirrors. It's not ours, it's the cars down beside us. But Paul is very, very good. He only took 3 off this morning. And he swore to me he's going to take off the other 3 when we come out in this tour. Don't do it, Paul. I can't afford to stick my head out the window. Yes, you're all clear behind. Keep going. It's also home to our football stadium, the International Football Stadium, Windsor Park. It's also home to the Irish Premier Football Club, Linfield. Home to the Ladies International Football Team and the Men's International Football Team. The capacity, wait for it, 18,000. For an international stadium to the north of Ireland. The same with the north of Ireland, the population to the city of Belfast, 1.1 million. The population to the whole of the north of Ireland, the 6 counties, 2.3 million. So half the population live here in the city. And with the football, you had 7 football clubs here in Belfast. Mentioning the football clubs, you had Catholic football teams and Protestant football teams. So whenever they were playing each other, especially here at Windsor Park, you paid your money to go through the turnstiles to go and watch a football match. You didn't even get to see the football match. Everybody was too busy fighting with everybody. Then you had to evacuate the football stadiums. But now you have the football teams integrated. So players from both sides of the community are playing for the one football team. So that stopped all the ratting, the fighting between each other, because they're all going to support the same team. And it goes well there with the ice hockey, which they're saying with the Belfast Giants. But with the Belfast Giants, ice hockey, to transcend sectarianism, when they're playing a hockey match, they beat the living daylights out of each other. The kids are screaming at them, hit him harder, hit him harder. They will turn to the right onto Glenmackin Street, all up here to the left hand side, the Balmoral Crescent, the Balmoral Road. Here you have any type of vehicle that you would wish to buy. Say vehicle, covering cars, Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Maseratis, BMWs, Rolls Royce, Bentleys. You will be able to buy it up here. So we're going to be leaving this part of South Belfast, predominantly loyalist, unionist. Once we pass here to the right hand side, you will see the fencing. There you have the spikes onto the top of the wall to separate two communities. You're in close proximity to the two communities. Loyalist, Protestant, Unionist here to the right, Nationalist, Catholic, Republican here to the left. So with all the new Westlink, the new Westlink, simply known as the invisible peace line of Belfast, because it travels through Belfast. There was 3 or 4 cars. Where you going, Paul? For anybody's way still up over stop 13, we are heading towards 13. So we're turning here up to the left. But as you can see, if you look around, you can see the new sports pitches. Within the communities, basically the peace process. To keep the peace, keeping the children off the streets, money was readily available to both communities. Keep the kids off the streets, keep the peace. But if you enter any of these premises, when you were seen to deface them, you're dealt with by the community, not by the police. The community workers are former prisoners. They take no prisoners. They take a small wage and keep the peace within their own communities. So the Royal Victoria Hospital, up here to the left-hand side. Royal Victoria, the largest of the 5 hospitals here throughout the city, was back in 1965-66. Professor Frank Pondage, along with Queen's University, they invented the portable defibrillator, the small machine that would shock the heart back to life after heart failure. Used mainly throughout the world. Of course, throughout the decades, they had to make it smaller. Implants for defibrillators. When it started off, it was a 12-volt car battery. So you picture it, anybody coming down, you're taking a heart attack, drop a 12-volt car battery on your chest. They'll kill you before they try to put the thumb on you. The People's Park, again here over to the right. Lottery funding to transform this small park into what it is today. The 2G, 3G football pitches, the old Waterless Fountain, transformed into a flower garden, and you have the new children's playground just over to your right hand side. And yet again, this is why we had to do the diversion, folks, because of an accident up on the road. But again, if you're seen to deface these public parks, you're dealt with. But as you see, it's